Hi, Aletha here with Create Your Future, and thank you so much for joining me on this video. I am looking forward to our time together. I'm going to answer a subscriber's question in just a moment, but before I do, I want to remind you that Create Your Future is still giving away a free course on how to find your blocks to manifest anything fast. To also remind you that I have courses available, and they're all $50 each, and then also I do one-on-one coaching. I would love to work with you. All the links are in the description box below. Now, to our question, and I will read it to you first. Hi, I don't want to dwell on the old story, so I'll be brief about it. We met over 7 years ago and have been off and on almost the entire time we've known each other, and have tried to meet a couple of times, but it fell through on both sides. He told me in the past he didn't want a long-distance relationship because it was empty. For a couple years, we were together, but not official. Last year, he friend zoned me. However, we still act like a couple for the most part, and he treats me like I am his girlfriend. I don't see many videos, if any, about my particular situation, so I get confused on what I should be affirming and scripting. How do I manifest him as my boyfriend, husband, even though we are long distance and haven't met in person yet, and being sort of friend zoned? How do I manifest him having eyes for me and only me? And thank you in advance. All right, so to answer your question, you use the law of assumption and you recognize who you are, your power. Number one, he has no control, you do. Doesn't matter what he says, it doesn't matter. He's saying, actually, what he is saying and his attitudes and his perceptions or perspectives are all a reflection of you. So he's you pushed out. So it's your thoughts. If you're coming into agreement with the long distance thing being an issue because what the world says that long distance relationships are difficult to manage, well, if you have that perception, then of course he's going to have the same one. If for whatever reason you have this idea that he wants to be friends only because you feared that, then he's going to come up with a suggestion that you guys be friends only. So, because everything is you pushed out, whether you're aware of what you're pushing out or not. So how do we fix that? First of all, you have to understand that our conscious mind is the place where we have all the ideas and the desires and the things that we want. And then that's 5% of who we are. But the subconscious mind is 95% of who we are, and it runs totally on autopilot. It's programming. And you've been programmed since the day you were born. And actually, it starts in utero. Seriously. So you need to take your power back. And how you do that? By recognizing you have power. You're an infinite being, and this is your quantum bubble reality. No one has any free will in it. He has to conform to you. So now you check out your thoughts. What are you thinking? If you're coming into agreement with the things that he said, change it. If you're saying to yourself, well, long distance relationships are difficult, well, of course he's going to come up with that idea that they're empty. Change it to long distance relationships are beautiful and full of all kinds of interesting adventure. Whatever you want, make it positive. And then the same thing with the friend zone. No, come up with it. He's so madly in love with me that he wants to be in a loving, committed relationship with me. And you can revise that whole little thing that you just told me about what he thinks and feels, because he is only reflecting back to you what you are thinking and feeling inside, whether it is a program in you that you're not totally aware of, which is then would be your block, your resistance. Check it out. And only you can figure that out. And then he will respond to your new concept. So what my advice is, write a new concept. And how do we do that? The best way to do that is through your imagination. And then out of the imagination, we will create intentions, which then are your mental diet. And that are going to help you sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled that you create within that imaginal scene as you go through your entire day, and as you are faced with the 3D being opposite for a while until everything is cleared, and all that you are thinking now in the moment is pushed out and then reflected back. So let's just look at our imaginal scene. You're just going to create a scene in your mind. If you cannot see pictures, it doesn't matter. Create an auditory scene where he's talking to you and you hear his voice. You're saying things to him, and it's got to be first person, not you sitting back listening to a radio program or you sitting back and watching a movie screen. Whichever one you use, auditory or visual, it's got to be first person. And you then create a scene in first person of the two of you talking, and some scene that implies you're married right now and you're blissfully happy and that he only has eyes for you. And that's the scene, 5 to 7 seconds long. You feel it to its fullest extent. I mean, you really feel it. You loop it over and over and over when you're in a state akin to sleep, when you're in a drowsy alpha state, and you stay there until it feels very natural, and then you get up and you go back into your regular world, whatever you do in life. And as you do, you carry that feeling with you. That's the key. Feeling is the key. You can say all the intentions you want in the world. If you're not feeling, I am that woman who is married to him, it could take forever, and it doesn't mean it'll even manifest. You have to feel it's yours now. That's the key. So that's why imagining is so good, because it gets you into the feeling easily. And also, when you're going about your day, imaginal scenes create a picture. So you might be sitting in front of your computer doing something. You think about something that reminds you of your imaginal scene or of him, and then you think of your imaginal scene, and then you see a picture. Maybe you're not, I mean, if I'm walking through the day, I'm not seeing the exact scene. I'm not living it in like I would if I were lying down somewhere resting and being calm, but I do see the picture of my SP and I standing together, or me with perfect health, whatever it is that I'm choosing to manifest. And I see that picture. That picture brings a feeling. That's the key to imagining too, because it helps you stay in that sustained feeling that I am married to this guy, the feeling of being married to him. So you stay in that state of consciousness by seeing that picture, and it brings up those feelings. Think about it. You have photographs or you see a picture of a movie scene or something, and you get the feeling from of that picture. You get a feeling. If you see a picture of a family loved one, and it brings feelings of love. If you see a movie scene, you'll remember right away. Or a song on the radio, and if I hear a song an oldie song on the radio, it reminds me of my high school days and all the fun that we had. So those things are so important to help you stay in the state of the wish fulfilled as you walk through your day. Now, what about the 3D? It gets in the way. No, it doesn't. You just miss it. So he says again, when you talk to him, that he doesn't want to be in a long distance relationship. So he reiterates that you're in friend zone. It's fine. Just don't give it your attention. Dismiss it and say, no, we're not. Internally, in the moment, now, we are married. We are happily married, and feel that feeling and see your mental image of your imaginal scene. See it, feel those feelings, and live there. And you don't have to respond to this person. You're in control of him. He is not in control of you. He is not setting the conditions of your world, of your reality. You are. And when you think that he is, that's only because you're giving him that power. Stop giving him or giving away your power to somebody who doesn't have any power in your quantum level reality. He has to conform. He's like a puppet. He's just a character on a stage that you control. You're the director. You're the writer of the play. And you're in charge. And so you don't get tripped up by what's going on in the 3D. It is a reflection of your past thoughts and fears. It's not real. What is real is what you're thinking and feeling in the moment. So if your SP says to you, and this has happened to me, I'm not coming back. I'm sorry, but blah, blah, blah. And I'm not coming back. I'm gone. Bye. A couple minutes later, he did leave. But what did I say after I heard his very kind, respectful little speech? I just looked up at him because he's very tall, and I said, okay. And I let him go. I didn't follow him out the door. I didn't cry. I wasn't being crazy. I didn't do anything. I just walked behind him. He went out the door. I closed it and locked it. And inside, I knew that I'm in control of him. He's not in control of me. And that somewhere along the line, my fears got pushed out and he said all that stuff to me. So I went and laid on my couch, I laid on my couch and I just revised that conversation so that I could feel good when I walked through my house, right? Feelings of love as opposed to rejection. And so I changed it. It took about 5 minutes. I saw us having the conversation, him saying what I wanted to hear. And then 2 days later, he came back. But in the meantime, and I didn't go into that negative place. Oh my God, I was just rejected and he doesn't want me. What if there's another woman? And, freaking out and what people call spiraling. I didn't spiral. I just stayed in the state of consciousness that what I wanted, that he was crazy in love with me. And 2 days later, he was back. He didn't even remember he did it. I didn't ask him, but you can tell he had no clue. And I've told this story before, so you've probably heard it. But it is a good example of not allowing yourself to become emotionally involved and attached to the 3D, where you are embodying those negative feelings as a result of what you're experiencing in the 3D. You want to embody your imaginal scene feelings of having that person as your life partner, your husband. And you need to live there. Feeling is the key to all of it. You sustain the feeling of having it now before it actually shows up. And that's what manifesting is. You have to feel it internally now before it's going to show up externally. That's just and you're doing that with the negative stuff. You're walking around feeling the pain and all that negative stuff and looping over in your mind. You're even doing the imaginal scenes. You're looping over in your mind everything they said that hurt and all the conversations you're telling other people that were not in line with what you want that the person said. And so you're doing that a whole imaginal scene anyway. You are literally manifesting what you don't want because you're not staying in the new concept, in the new story of what you want. You want to be married to them. You're not pretending. The now is the true real reality. The external world, the 3D, is an illusion. It is a reflection. It's a mirroring back of what you've been thinking in the now. So if you start thinking in the now that the two of you are a married couple and you're very happy together and you live from that feeling of what that would feel like to be his wife and live in a blissful relationship with him and you sustain that feeling as much as you can, you keep bringing yourself back and it does get easier. And every time you find you're not, you bring yourself back. And that's where I said earlier, the imaginal scene helps because you get a picture of your imaginal scene and it brings up that feeling again of love and joy and peace. If you're struggling with even that, then go do that imaginal scene over again. Lie down, get alone, and imagine it and loop it over and over till you get back into the state of feeling it's yours now. That's claiming your power. There, you are literally the one who is manifesting him into your life as a long distance person, as a person who wants to friend zone you. You're doing that by continually thinking. And you said in the beginning, I don't want to dwell on the old story. Then don't at all. Dwell on the new story all the time. And when it slips, bring it back. There's no right or wrong. It's just a choice. If you start to go into the negative mindset, stop. Choose to go back into the new story and feel that. There's no right or wrong. You can't. People are always saying, well, I don't know if I'm getting this right or not. It's not about right or wrong. There is no right or wrong in the universe. You apply the meaning to everything. You assign the meaning to everything. So it's all about choice. Choice. You don't have to worry about if I'm doing it right or wrong. Am I choosing to stay in the story? That's the only thing you think about. That's what you're aware about. When you aware of, and when you are seeing that you're not, when you start to feel hurt and negative feelings, you know you're not in the new story. So you bring yourself back. You choose to bring yourself back. There's no right or wrong. There's only choice. You get to make that choice. You can stay all you want in the negative feelings, and you will manifest more of that. or you can choose to dismiss them because you know they're not real, that the 3D is not real. What they said in the 3D is only an illusion of your past thoughts. You stay in the new story that's taking place right now inside of you, of feeling loved and valued and happy because you're with this person as their wife that you want to be with. And you stay there and you sustain that, and they will manifest. It will manifest. It has to. You're manifesting all the other stuff. You can certainly manifest this. It's just a matter of choosing to embody it more than the old story. It's the choosing to discard the old story and stay in the new and embody it, dwell in it, live from it. And you will manifest your specific person. One last thing before we go, and that is, do not try to figure out how he's going to show up in your life as your husband, especially since you're long distance. You do not have to figure out, well, if I get this job or he gets that job and then we might move here. No. That's going to slow everything down. And it's going to complicate things, and it's going to make you feel crazy after a while because you can never figure what the universe is going to do. You can't figure out what the universe is going to do to bring you together. All you have to do is trust. Have faith in the law of assumption. Have faith in your power as an infinite being, and live from the end of being his wife, happily married, and he only has eyes for you. Don't worry how you got there. It doesn't matter. That will take place. Don't look for angel signs. Signs follow, they do not precede. Don't look for signs of any kind, birds before land, all that junk. All you got to do is feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled, that it's yours now. Now, you already have it. Live from that state of consciousness, and it will show up in its own way and its own time, and it will be, and live with expectancy. You know it's going to show up, you just don't know how, but you know it is, and that's such joy. Walk through your day in that beautiful place internally, no matter what's going on externally, that I'm a married woman, and it's to that guy that I love, and he only has eyes for me. You live there in expectancy, knowing it's going to show up, and you don't have to figure out how. Just see whatever you have used as an imaginal scene, the end of being together, it will push out of you. It will be reflected back to you in some way, and you don't have to worry about how. Just remember, the whole thing is about feeling you are that person now, and that all takes place in the moment. And that also in the moment, you are creating your next 3D reality. So in the moment, make sure you are dreaming, thinking, embodying, dwelling in the fact that I'm his wife now, and feeling those feelings. And your life will be exactly what you want it to be. You are that powerful. So if you have any further questions, then I'll be more than happy to help you with a one-on-one coaching session to be more specific. But that's the basic answer, and I suggest you do it. It works. Blessings.